and grab some of the scrap paper. This away. And we're going to start with cutting it down to 9 1/8 inch high. I'm sorry, 9 7/8, the same height as our cardstock. So 9 7/8. And I'm going to leave the width right now. Just as long as you have enough for your whatever size punch. I think this one is a 1 inch. And then plus a little bit extra. So I'm just going to start punching this one. There we are. I'm going to go ahead and cut mine down about a 1/2 inch underneath. Like the punch stops here. Punch stops here. I'm going to go down a 1/2 inch and then cut it. Okay, I'm going to check and make sure my height is the same. Looks like I need to trim it just a little bit. Mine ended up being a little too high. So barely even a 1/16 of an inch I'm going to trim off of it. And that's not going to work. I should have known better than that. I just damaged the whole thing. Yeah. I should have known better to cut it. Let me go ahead and cut me one out, another one real quick. Alright, so I have mine ready. And I'm going to go ahead and glue onto the back of our cardstock, and I'm going to glue this 1/2 inch that we have on the end. I'm going to take the cardstock and place it all the way to the bottom of the die cut. Press that down. Mine still ended up being a little bit over, so I'm just going to cut that with scissors, which was probably what I should have done to begin with. And I wouldn't have had to do it twice. And the same thing on this one. There we are. Now take your album . Open it up to your next page. Sorry about that. And grab this piece and your little 2 7/8, I believe it was. And we are going to place this down. So we're going to start with our smaller piece, and we're going to glue the back of it. want to glue it down completely. So I want glue on all 4 sides and the center. Then take that and set it in place. It should reach just underneath where your pocket starts. There we are. Now on this one we're going to flip it over and we're going to put some tape on this again. So we're going to make this one a pocket. And when you're putting your photo mats in and out, we don't want anything to catch on those cuts that we made. So run your hand across it and make sure that nothing catches. And grab your double-sided tape. And we want to put it on our 3 sides. There we are. And we'll peel off the backing. Now I'm going to take some glue. Whoops. And I'm just going to put it on the edges here just a little bit so that part sticks down also. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Just a little bit on those edges. Okay, we're going to flip that over. And we're going to set it in place, making sure that when we put this down, we don't want to see this chipboard in the back. We want to make sure it comes up enough that when you're looking through the little lace here, that you see cardstock and not chipboard. There we are. And now we have ourselves a pocket. And then when we open, we have photo mats and then our little envelope. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to put my flowers and decorations down on the bottom here. And you go ahead and work on yours. And then I will be back with y'all. Alright, so I have all of my flowers down. Let you see how I put it together. I have the same flowers that I've been using. I did add some little ivory leaves to it, and this will finish up this page, and we will go ahead and move on to our next page. So we're just going to close that up. I'm not sure how I feel about those ivory leaves. I might have to think about that for a little while. They kind of look like fans coming off of it. Alright, so set that aside, and I have my next sheet for my next page. And we're going to go ahead and cut that down. 9 7/8 by 9 7/8. Alright, also grab your colored cardstock, and we're going to have a lot of flaps on this one, so we actually need 10 that are 4 by 6. So I'm cutting the 6-inch side first. And 4-inch. 4-inch. I'm going to leave this cutter seems to be getting dull already. I just put it on when we started this album. 6-inch. 4-inch. 4-inch. So that we have 4. Whoa, well, that didn't help at all. Put it back together. I guess they didn't like me complaining about it. This should be 7. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this will be 10. Now grab your white cardstock. We need 4 pieces that are 1 1/4 by 6 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the 6 3/4, which is right in the fold of my paper cutter. Yikes. Well, that's a bummer. Let's see. Half, 6 3/4. So 6 3/4 by 4 1/4. Is that right? Yeah. And we need 4 of these. So it's 1, 2, that was 6, excuse me, 6 3/4. Four and 1/4. Okay, we have 4 of those. Now we need 1 for our white. That is 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. Now we need 1 more that's 4 by 5. All right, I believe we have all of them now. So let's start with our 4 of them that were 6 1/4 by 6 3/4. And grab your scoreboard. Alright, I've got it on the 6 3/4 inch side. And I want to score it at 6 1/4. That's going to give us a 1/2 inch tab. And we're going to do that for all 4 of them. Square at 6 1/4. Six and 1/4. One more, 6 1/4. Now take the 4 3/4 and we want to score it at 1/2 inch. So that one was 4 3/4. Score at 1/2 inch, and we just have 1 of those. So set that one aside. And this little guy right here, your 4 by 5, grab your Martha Stewart punch. And we're going to punch across the 4 inch side. Let me grab another one. Excuse me 1 second. Four by 5. There we are. All right. set this one aside. Grab all your pieces with your flap and your purple ones. I'm going to start doing my corner punch on the deco side. And I definitely need to change that cutter again. The pages aren't looking too smoothed. Alright, let's start putting them down. Whoops, I'm sorry. We need to also deco punch these two corners opposite our tabs, and then the same thing with our 4. If you see, my tab is on this left hand side, so I'm going to do the opposite. All 4 of these. Trying to hurry for my glue dries on my paper. Alright, now try and put it down. Flip over and do the other side. I wanted to make absolutely everything with you guys. I know y'all sitting there watching me cut lengthens the video, but if you're going along with me, I just want to make it as easy as possible for you guys. I do have my email that I'm going to put in the, or that's in your PDF materials list. So if y'all have any questions, you're more than welcome to email me, which I think I've already mentioned that before. But even if you have suggestions or criticism, please let me know that also. This thing's really bad. Knock a little bit of this with the nail file. It works better on chipboard, but it also does it fairly well on cardstock. And we're getting there. All right, one more. Okay, we have all four with our side tabs done, and then with this edge and our little guy right here. So we're gonna start with these. So let's let me show you what's gonna happen. There's going to be similar to a waterfall effect where we're going to have four like so. Well, I get my tabs. And they'll all open out to the right. And then this one is going to be like so, and then we'll put a swing tab down here, and this one will be what closes all of these. So let's get started on that. We're going to have our first tab. We're going to measure 1 inch from the top. Or tab over. 1 inch from the top, and then 1/2 of an inch. Let's make it 3/4 of an inch from the side. So 1 inch from the top of the cardstock to the top of the white for the photo mat, and then 3/4 of an inch from the right side of the cardstock to the photo mat. And we're going to trace and then cut that one out. Hold on, I'm thinking. Yes, that's it. excuse me, cut the ends of my tabs. And go ahead and erase whatever's your line. We'll make sure that fits. Mine's a little short. See if that one fits. That's better. So let's go ahead and flip that over and glue that one down. I glued all over my fingers. And grab your next one. Let's see how we're going to do this one. Okay, we want it a 1/2 inch. Get closer so you can see what I'm doing here. From this tab, we're going to go in, measure 1/2 inch. And that's where we want to place our next one. And then 1/2 inch from the white, from the one we just put down. We want to go a 1/2 inch there. So once you have that one measured out, go ahead and open your flap and draw that line. Then we're going to cut that one out, and I'm going to flip mine over so I can do it with my left-handed self. Cut my little tabs, and I end up getting pencil on my white paper, so I'm going to erase that one. And then erase the line that we cut. And then make sure it fits. Well, I got mine a little short again. A little bit more. And that time it worked. So I'm going to flip that over and glue it down. Well, that's different. Okay, now for our next one. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 1/2 inch from this one. 1/2 of an inch from the one we put above it. Okay, open that up and draw that line. And I'm going to flip mine over to cut it out. Trim my tabs. Looks like I got pencil mark on both of them. So I'm gonna erase it and see how it fits. Okay. I'm going to flip that over and glue that one down. We have one more to go. So same thing, 1/2 an inch from the bottom of the one you just put down. And draw that line. And erase any lines that you made with the pencil. Any pencil marks you made. That one fits. So I'm going to flip it over and glue it in place. Sorry, when I talk a lot, I start losing my voice. Okay. Now we need to work on this one. Okay, I'm going to make it even across at the top, and we're going to do 1/2 of an inch from the cardstock. And then draw that line. Hold on, that's not going to be much for a swing. Yeah, that'll be fine. Let's draw our mark. And cut that one. Just like that. Mine fits. Looks like I got a little bit off on my cut. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. So it doesn't show as much. And flip that one over and glue it down. Alright, I'm going to put a little swing tab right here. I wanted to do something a little bit different on this one. Okay, taking your little piece where we did the punch at the top. I want you to measure one inch from your fold here, your score line, from here, an inch, and just make one little mark there, and then one little mark here. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. And I moved mine, of course. Measure from here. Measure from here 1 inch. Draw a little mark. And then also draw a little mark on this side. So we have those two marks there. Take your ruler and we're going to draw a line and connect those two marks. Just eyeball it, make it as straight as you can. Okay? Did y'all see all that? Now take your cutting pad and put underneath it. And we're going to cut out that line we just made. Erase your lines. See if mine got wide enough. What I want to do is slide this whole piece inside of that cut. And the only thing I want showing is about that much. Let me go back a little bit. You see how I have everything in here? And I just want just not even 1/4 of an inch, about 1/8 of an inch popping out of that cut. And mine just moved. So grab it from underneath, grab your white piece. See, I'm going to grab it underneath so it doesn't move. Flip that over and I moved it. Let me try it again. Let me get mine back in place. There we are. Now what I want to do is take my glue, and I'm holding it down with this right hand, but then I'm going to flip it up, and I want to put glue on the white part. And push that down. So if you can still see, my cut is still open. I just want this white part down. So let me take a peek and see if it moved again on me. There we are. Good deal. I'm going to go ahead and get a little a swing tab that you know what it's like when you're crafting. Stuff gets everywhere. So grab me a little purple one, and I've got a little clear I'm going to put that swing tab just right in this little corner and make my little mark. I gotta find my... There we go. It's going through that white that we put down, so oops. I'm going to push a little bit harder. There we are. Now I'm going to get a piece of tape, and I'm going to put it over this little guy, because this is actually going to be a pouch, and I don't want anything rubbing when you go to put a photo mat inside there. And it actually goes like this. Then we have that page. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my album, and then I'll decorate it. So let me get all this stuff out of the way. And go ahead and grab your album. Open up to your next page. And this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to come in a little bit closer. So I want to put score tape across the this colored cardstock, but not going over onto the white. Glue all over my fingers. So all the way on the edge of that cardstock, but not going over onto the white. And we're going to do that on the top on both sides. There we are. Then I'm going to go ahead and put mine on these cut pieces while I have it out. Since they are so close together on this one. Alright. I'm going to take all these backing off. And then I'm going to reinforce all of it and then add glue around all of the corners. Now under here you can add glue all the way up into that white, but don't add glue on the white. Now flip that over. Whoops. Put glue here. And put him down in place. Bear with me, I can't see the top. Here we are. Press it all down, make sure everything is adhered. Now what we created, we've made a little pocket where you can put a tag or a little photo mat. And I'm probably going to run some ribbon down underneath here just to kind of dress it up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do that real quick. I'm just putting it on the cardstock, the glue that is, and the ribbon, but oops, back down. There we are. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put my flowers down here at the bottom, and you work on yours also. And I'll be right back.